America? Do you care, America? Are you fed up with the way things are going and the path they're taking us down? Socialism. Commie bastards. Well, since you're there and you care, are you pissed off? Angry at the fact your money doesn't buy anything anymore? That's right. Inflation sucks. Big, big weenie. Are you sick of all your hard-earned taxpayer dollars going to fund the start of World War III? Well, if you are, then welcome to another episode of We the People Are Pissed Off with your host, Mr. Jerry Greenwood.
All right, welcome to another episode of We the People Are Pissed Off. I'm Jerry Greenwood, your host, and we'd like to thank you for watching what we're doing. For those of you that are watching, and those of you that aren't, well, you don't know what you're missing. All right, we got a lot to cover today. One of the things that I want to start off with is a little bit of history from about 49, 50 years ago. It's about a woman named Patty Hearst. And Patty Hearst was the heiress for William Randolph Hearst's newspaper empire. And in 1974, Patty Hearst was kidnapped by a left-wing radical organization called the Symbionese Liberation Army. Patty Hearst was in their care for 19 months. But during that 19 months, she developed, they say, what is known as Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome is feelings of trust or affection felt in many cases of kidnapping or hostage-taking by a victim towards the victim's captor. And in Patty Hearst's case, it was the Symbionese Liberation Army. And during that time of her capture, or being captive, she participated in many things, bank robbery and a lot of other things. Anyways, Patty Hearst was sentenced to 7 years in prison. And for 3 years, she was in and out of prison while the lawyers from the Hearst family fought this. And in, I believe it was 1979, Jimmy Carter finally commuted her sentence. He let her go. And the reason I bring this up is because I have a question for Democrats out there, even maybe some Republicans alike. Okay, are you suffering from Stockholm Syndrome? Because the Democrat Party, for a lot of minority organizations, has kidnapped you. African Americans, Hispanics, and many, many other minorities in this country have all felt the wrath of the Democrat Party. First of all, let's look at African Americans. The Democrat Party is the party of Jim Crow, the party of the KKK, the party that wanted nothing to do with the Emancipation Proclamation. Think about that. And yet, the majority of African Americans in this country vote for Democrats. Why? Out of curiosity, what is it that they give you? What is it that they do for you that you are so loyal to them that they don't even have to try to earn your vote anymore. They just automatically have it. Why? Because you got some Al Sharpton guy up there he's paid by the Democrat Party to convince black or Afro Americans, whatever you want to be called. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Okay? I think if you're born in this country, you should just go by American. But nonetheless, you want to participate in racial politics or identity politics, go right ahead. But I have a question for you, and I'm going to repeat it. What is it that they bring to the table for you? What do they do that makes you so dedicated to them? And I'll ask anybody else too. The Republican Party. What is it that the Republican Party does for anybody that makes you constantly dedicated to them, that you're going to vote Republican regardless? What is it that they do? Are we all suffering from a form of Stockholm Syndrome? Because we are no longer constituents in this country. We are subjects. I challenge you to go to a town hall meeting when your representative or your senator is in town and voice an opinion that is against what they're saying, and more than likely you will be removed by security, usually police from the city you live in or wherever you're at, will remove you. And if you stay and sit there and tell them, no, I have a right to be heard, then you will be handcuffed. You'll probably be tased, maced, and thrown outside, put in the back of a car, arrested, and it's going to cost you a whole bunch of money. Yeah, that's how you treat constituents. No, that's how you treat subjects. You know, the Tower of London was for the king's subjects, subject to his will and his whim, and that's what we are today. We're subject to anything the government wishes to do to us, whether it's attacks by inflation or funding a war we may not agree with. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Your money will go to an abortion clinic, and I don't care how pro-life you are. Your money will go to fund CRT, critical race theory, and I don't care how conservative you are. It doesn't matter. We are being invaded in this country with an open southern border. I know, I live on that damn southern border. And we're being invaded daily by people crossing with no respect for the rule of law in our country. And who is in charge of our security? Beijing Biden and his boys. So I'm going to ask this question again, specifically to Democrats. What is it that they bring to the table that makes you so dedicated and devoted to them? Why are you voting for them? What is it you're voting for? Do you enjoy the chaos? Do you enjoy the misery index being at an all-time high? Yes, we have a misery index in this country. What's that tell you? When they have to measure the amount of misery that people in this country have. What does that tell you? When the price of eggs for a dozen of them just a few weeks ago was $10 for 12 eggs. I don't know about you, but I call that a tax. I call that a tax that's just sick and disgusting, because there's tons of people, especially elder people on a fixed income, that cannot afford to buy food and necessary medicines. Okay? Back to the Stockholm Syndrome thing. So, what is it that you feel affection for towards them? Do you feel you owe them something? Because you don't. You don't know the government a damn thing. You don't know them anything. If you work and pay taxes, you own the government. You are the government. And if you don't work and you don't pay taxes, do you enjoy having everything handed to you, knowing that at any time it can be taken away? Because it's all I hear is, oh no, the Republicans are going to take this away and the Republicans are going to take that away. Here recently, just about a month ago, they were back to a playbook from the 1970s and the 1980s with the Republicans are going to take Social Security away. I've been hearing this for decades. Decades. Social Security, there's no money there. You know, my mother's 86. If my father was still alive to this day, he'd be 90. And when he was working as a young man, he paid him and about 9 other people paid for one person to be on Social Security. Now one person pays for approximately 20 to be on Social Security. What's wrong with that picture? You mean to tell me that everybody in this country is incapable of working? What a sad state we're in, aren't we? Back to my question. What is it that you feel for these people? Is it Stockholm Syndrome because we're captive to these people? I personally don't like being captive. I don't want to be in a cage, I don't want to be on a leash, and I don't want to be controlled and told exactly everything I have to do. Who the hell wants that? I don't think anybody really wants that. But if you do, don't expect to get it from those of us that want to work and pave our own way. So, the government, the Democrats mostly, I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm a conservative Republican. I'm not hiding it. I have bias. Yes, I do. Just like lots of people have bias. But the Democrats, they want to blame everybody else for everything they screw up. And lately, well, let me put it to you this way. For 7.5 of 8 years, and if I could be mistaken, it could be the whole total 8 years of President Barack Insane Obama's presidency, he blamed Bush. It was Bush. Now, even before Beijing Biden took the oath of office, which is a joke, he was blaming Trump. They asked him during the campaign, the times where he was out and not hiding underneath a bedsheet in his basement, about his son's dealings, about Hunter's dealings and the things on the laptop. And what did he say? What did he say? I'm going to paraphrase it. And don't be asking me about that. You need to focus on Trump. Really? So now you're telling the news media what it is they have to do. Okay, Joseph Goebbels. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's exactly what Goebbels did. Controlled the information that the people received. And look what they did. Look at how many people they murdered. Look at how much destruction and devastation they did. Well, I want you to go and take a look at what's going on around the world today. We're on the verge, the precipice of World War III. And they don't care. As long as you don't worry about it because you don't hear about it. I mean, you watch this on the local news and nobody ever mentions World War III or nuclear holocaust. You don't survive, man. You don't survive. I don't care what kind of equipment you got, what kind of bunker you have under the ground. What are you going to come out to? Excuse me. What are you going to come out to? Nothing. You're going to come out to death and destruction, and eventually it's going to consume you too. So what's the point? What's the point? I mean, the day they launch missiles, I'm on my deck outside my front door, sitting there with something cold to drink in my hands and just waiting for it to hit because I don't care. I mean, what's the point? I don't want to live in a world where, damn, I can see through my hands. Yeah, okay. Well, so we have Russia and China are becoming good friends. Real good friends. That's scary as hell, man. That's scary as hell. We have the Chinese yuan that is slowly building itself up to become a currency to be reckoned with, which is not good for us here in this country because as it is, we have inflation. Our dollar doesn't buy what it used to buy. And if the yuan gets itself anywhere close to the dollar as far as the world's currency is concerned, our dollar isn't going to buy anything. We don't build anything. Our GDP is squat. Our government, our country has sent our jobs down the river without a paddle. And we're all going to be screwed. China has been itching and chomping at the bit to be the dominant leader in the world, and they're working diligently to do so. And now they've got the partnership with Russia. Well, the other day, a little country in Africa named Uganda outlawed homosexuality. It's their country. They can do as they damn well please. And the Biden administration is threatening sanctions against Uganda. That was a big deal. It's Uganda. What do they have? What do they have? Well, those countries have diamonds. They have gold. They have lots of stuff in the ground. And we're too stupid to go over there and figure it out with them. Let's get this out of the ground. Let's make everybody prosperous. No, that's not what we do anymore. We don't spread prosperity. We spread control. Well, so China and Russia are like, yeah, big deal. Let them put sanctions on you. Who cares? Let me explain something to you. We sanctioned the heck out of Russia. Well, the Biden team did. Beijing Biden and his boys. They sanctioned the hell out of Russia a little over a year ago as this war that started. They kicked them out of the SWIFT banking system, which is they have no access to American dollars. And they said, oh, they're gonna default on all of their loans. Today, the ruble is worth more than it was before the war started, and banks in the United States are collapsing. And of course, the news media and the government and the Treasury and Yellen and all them keep saying, no, our banks are solvent. And the reason they're saying that, I do understand it. They don't want to run on the banks. They don't want people going to haul out all their money in the banks. And here's a question for you real quick. How much money can you pull out of your banking institute at one time? Well, go look it up. Go look it up. To some, it's going to be a lot more than you think, but to a lot, it's going to be less. And if you're the one where it's less than what you thought, you have more money than the FDIC will insure. Okay? So if you've got $1 million sitting in your bank, the FDIC insures your bank account for up to $250,000. So if that banking institute collapses, you've lost $975,000 or something like that. Yeah. You've lost take $250,000 away. 750,000, excuse me. Boy, sometimes it's, yeah. Anyways, you've lost $750,000. I don't know about you, but I'm not in the mood to lose $7.50. So for somebody to lose $750,000, it's $750,000. That's a lot of money to not be insured for. Now, if you've got $1 million sitting in your bank and you walk in the bank tomorrow and say, I'm going to take it all out, not going to happen. They'll transfer it to another bank, but they're not going to give you your money. No, that's not how they work. See? So they're telling everybody that, yeah, the banks are solvent and all that. No, I don't believe it. I watch and I don't believe it. That's just my opinion. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a banker or a financial expert in any way. But go look it up. Check it out. Okay. So one of the things that I've been trying to do here, it's kind of a little bit of humor, is best tweet of the week. Yes, I am on Twitter. And See if I can find my Twitter address. They talk about really organized. And it's hold on a second. Bear with me, please. Thank you. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll put it in the link below, I guess. Anyways, so best tweet of the week is by a Twitter handle called They Call Me Doc. And it's a picture of an apple in a little block. It's a meme. It says, and I would show you, but whenever my phone comes up, you see it doesn't really show anything. And I haven't figured out how to link it to this, so I'll just read it for you. Okay? Anyways, it's by They Call Me Doc, THEYCALLMEDOC. He's on Twitter. He's a pretty funny guy. Has a picture of an apple, and it says, "This is a banana. If you see an apple, you're a right-wing extremist." What makes me laugh because, in other words, if you don't agree, then we don't have control. And if we don't have control of you, you must be a right-wing radical. Excuse me, that's hard to say. A buddy of mine calls me that all the time, and I just can't pronounce it. But anyways, nonetheless, he's probably right. I probably more right-wing than anything else. Doesn't matter. But I see an apple, and I'm sure you will too. Well, it's kind of all I got for today. Hope you liked this video. My last video was removed from YouTube, and I put it on Rumble. So I strongly suggest that you go to Rumble if you don't have an account there and get one. And, you know, you can have an account on YouTube and Rumble. I don't think it hurts. But I'll put the link for my my Rumble account in the description box below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it if you put this out and forward it to anybody you know. Leave a comment. Tell me what you like. If you like anything, tell me what you don't like. If you don't like anything, I'm open for suggestions. Okay? Doesn't mean I'll take them, but I'll read them. Have a great day. Have a good weekend. Catch you guys on the next one.